Okay, so I have to share this. I'm reading this book for school called Apologetics and Catholic Doctrine by Archbishop Michael Sheehan. It's really amazing. And here's this chart of ancient manuscripts. My hand's not steady, so apologies for that. But check this out. It has the author, the work, the date of the writing, the earliest complete copy, the time span, and the number of early manuscripts, complete or partial. So you look at all of these ancient manuscripts by Horace, Cicero, Caesar, Plato, Aristotle, you name it, okay? We all know those names, right? All of these are taken as obvious historical documents, no question whatsoever that they wrote them, the real deal. And look at, the time span between when it was written and the earliest complete copy. 850 years, 900 years, 1300 years, 1500 years, okay? And look at the number of copies we got, 17, 11, 2, 4, okay? No question about those. No, those are all legit. But for some reason, people just can't buy the New Testament. It's just total legend, falsehood, right? But just look at the facts here, okay? Just logically. The New Testament, the Gospels, letters of St. Paul, Acts of the Apostles, all of it, written in somewhere between 40 and 90 AD, and the earliest complete copy we have in the 4th century. That's a time span of only 350 years as compared to the others, okay? And the number of early manuscripts, complete or partial, 263 in Greek up to the 9th century. 263. I mean, look at the comparison between that and the others. And you can see that there's a little note here that this figure does not include the even more numerous early manuscripts of translations into Latin, Syriac, Coptic, Armenian, etc., other languages. Okay, so there's actually more, fragments that we have that are even earlier than that. Not to mention the fact, I just want to throw this in here. Of course, we know Jesus was crucified. We have it as, 33 AD. And I mean, look at how close to that the Gospels and, the entire New Testament was written. I mean, there's this myth going around that it was written hundreds of years later, but that's not true. You can see like the earliest complete copies, but we have fragments way before that. We have fragments, and it's on some other pages here. We have fragments from the 2nd century. Okay, that's in the 100s. All right. So, think of like a huge event that happened. Think of September 11th, okay? We're not going to forget that, right? I was in my early 20s when that happened. Let's say 50 years later when I'm in my early 70s, I am not going to have a problem remembering that. So imagine, these men who experienced, God coming to earth, okay? And doing all these incredible things, saying all these incredible things, being crucified, rising from the dead, okay? And ascending into heaven. I think they're going to remember that, between, 10 and however many years later, okay? I'm terrible at math in my head. So you get the point. I mean, this is the truth. This is logical. This is logic. This is reasonable, rational. Not to mention the fact that what advantage did these men have to lie about this? They were all martyred except for St. John, okay? they were crucified themselves. St. Peter crucified upside down. St. Paul was beheaded. You know, I don't know about you guys, but if I was going to be killed over something that I was making up, I would be like, never mind, you know. So, that's just a little piece for you. I mean, there's so much more to say about this, but I'm just reading this right now, and I'm just felt the need to immediately share it because it seems like people don't know this. I don't know what is going on. How do people walk around, if they know this, saying it's just, you know, all a bunch of fantasy and made up? This is reasonable. This is logical. This is historical. No serious historian would dismiss this. So it just blows my mind. I don't understand it. And here's my little tiny, bit to put out into the world to say something about it. All right. Thanks for listening.